Michael Porter Jr. has some of the craziest clips online where he chooses to shoot contested jumpers over making the easy pass. In this video, I want to talk about his jump shot, why he's still effective despite playing this way, and the stats to back it up. This is Michael Porter Jr., the final destination. MPJ shoots 41.4% from 3 on over 7 attempts per game. We all know shooting over 40% is high, but to put it into perspective, for players who shot over 300 threes in the season, he ranked 11th in percentage. For players who shot over 400, he ranked 3rd. MPJ shot 450 threes in 2023. Let's look at the shots of the top 10 players on this list. We have Steph Curry, who shoots a set or push shot. Buddy Hield shoots a set shot. Klay Thompson has a traditional jumper, but it's one of the smoothest ever. Keegan Murray, set shot, not much of a jump. Darius Garland, set shot. Desmond Bane, a jump shot, but kind of a weirder catapult form. Trey Murphy, another set shot. Kevin Huerter, jump shot, jumps quite a bit here. And Tyrese, a very strange looking set shot. I list all of this just to show that although the trend across the league seems to support more set shots, the best shooters have all sorts of forms, and there's not necessarily a better way to shoot, just differences. Michael Porter says it best here.
I admire shooting because there's two different ways guys shoot. You know, some guys shoot a push shot and they can extend their range back, and you know that's the shooters like Trae Young or Damian Lillard or Steph. And then there's like jump shooters who shoot kind of like me with the higher release point, like me, KD, Paul George, Jason Tatum has a high release. So I admire shooting from like different aspects of it. And then there's like different perks to both type of shooting. If you shoot like above your more of a jump shot, you can a guy can be in your face and you can just shoot. But then the guys who shoot more of that push shot, you know, they can extend their range way back. So I appreciate all type of shooting.
To summarize, MPJ is saying that your shooting form is a conscious decision based on how you want to play. Set shots allow you to get your shot off faster and have more range. This makes sense because your launch point is closer to your chest and your chin, so the energy transfer from your legs is much more seamless. Meanwhile, a normal jumper, you can't generate as much power because you're almost swinging the ball back towards your head before releasing, and so you kill part of the energy generated from your legs. Plus, your release point being higher, it's harder to generate arc on your shot. But as MPJ said, the main benefit of the jumper is that high release point. It's way harder to block or even bother someone who's releasing from their forehead at the peak of their jump versus someone who's releasing as they begin their jump near their chin. There's a reason why all the best mid-range players have two motion jump shots. It's because it gets congested closer to the basket and you need to rise up over defenders. That's the first point I want to make. MPJ has that two motion jumper. He jumps pretty high, I'd say higher than the average on his jump shot. Plus he's 6'10", therefore a contested shot might not actually bother him that much. Let's look at some percentages. NBA.com has some closest defender proximity stats that we can look at. MPJ 30% of the time shoots threes with defenders tightly guarding him. Tight in this case is when a defender is 2 to 4 feet away. On these shots, he shoots around 32%, and for perspective, that's better than Jason Tatum and Steph Curry on similar shot quality. The main difference here is that players like Tatum and Steph are usually bringing down their defender when they shoot a tightly contested three. It's more of a pull-up than a spot-up. But the numbers say that MPJ is shooting 75% of his threes as catch and shoot, aka 75% of the time he's not taking a dribble. So essentially what's happening is he just doesn't care about the closeout. Defenders are running straight at him, and a set shooter would probably be concerned about a block. But MPJ knows that his high release point is high enough that most of the time defenders won't bother him. The decision to do a move rather than spot up is a difficult one. He averages 43% from 3 when he takes 0 dribbles. If he takes 1 or more dribbles, his percentage drops to 33%. This is pretty natural because dribbling has a high chance of breaking a rhythm. It's just interesting to me that stats support him shooting that contested jump shot. But what about blatantly giving up passing opportunities? There are clips where teammates like Jokic are calling for the ball and MPJ just rises up like he didn't even see the man. The reasoning boils down to 3 possibilities. A, he just doesn't see the play, or in other words, has really bad court awareness. B, he did see the play, but he's so confident that he thinks his contested jumper is worth more. And final option C, he did see the play, but he's not good enough of a playmaker to make that pass. In all 3 scenarios, he's still shooting the ball, so he still views his shot as a good shot. I personally think it's B, just from MPJ's history of being a top high school and draft prospect. I just think when you've had that responsibility before, you can see yourself as a guy rather than just a role player. But I will say, MPJ doesn't have the best ball handling, so I wouldn't be surprised if he has trouble making post entries like this. Plus, as he says himself, his back injuries have affected his movement patterns, so that might change his ability to attack up a dribble and create a play. Either way, MPJ's assist numbers are pretty absurd. This man is averaging 1.1 assists per game for his career, and he's not getting any better. He averaged 1 last year, and for players on the team playing at least 19 minutes per game, he's dead last. Even DeAndre Jordan averaged 0.9 assists per game on limited minutes. Let's do a quick comparison between MPJ and a teammate with a very similar role, KCP. Unlike MPJ, KCP has 92% of his 3-point attempts listed as open or wide open. In other words, he's not shooting if you close out hard on him. That means more opportunities to pump fake, attack, swing, and just create more for your teammates. That's probably why, despite both of them not having a facilitating role on the team, KCP averages 2.4 assists per game compared to MPJ's 1. Assist ratio is interesting because it basically tells you how much a player assists compared to how much they score. MPJ's is just 6.5, meanwhile KCP's is much higher at 19. The scale's to 100, by the way. I really do think the difference is in shot mechanics and mindset. KCP just wants more open looks because he's got more of a set shot, and he also wants to get his team involved. MPJ has more of an alpha mindset where he wants to get buckets, and he doesn't care if they're contested. Being able to shoot tough shots at a high percentage is amazing for bailing out your defense when it's struggling to generate good looks. So I think MPJ's style of play actually has a huge value and balances out with KCP's game very nicely. The next step in MPJ's game is to develop that handle. He can already hit tough shots, but if he can get to anywhere he wants, that's when you get into KD levels of greatness. I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Thanks for watching. That was Michael Porter Jr.'s Final Destination. You know, I got all these funny names for MPJ from Reddit, but I really want to know what else y'all can come up with. So let me know in the comments. This was Anthony from Common Basketball. I'll see you guys next time.